This is the Saudi Football Fanatics channel. Hello, guys. This is going to be a special edition because this is our first recording dedicated to the Fantasy ROSHN Saudi League. You may know that we started a mini league recently in this fantastic game. And, well, let's say that not all of our experts performed properly, but the guys will talk about it. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello. I assume that's me. Was not the proper one from the experts, but please correct me if I'm not right. I don't know. I'm feeling really great at the end of the table, so I'm not sure that it's not proper. I'm just checking a little the league. I'm on the 30th place now, but I'm happy that we have 6 players that are much more worse than me. So there are some other players who should improve, not just me. But yeah, we will see. We will see in the next rounds.
Yeah, it's too early to judge you, right? After two rounds. So your strategy is a long-term strategy.
Yeah. But it depends whether my next wildcard in the upcoming rounds will be okay or as tragical as my performance so far.
Yeah, and then wildcard is a good topic. We will discuss about that later. So, Gyula, I don't know, you moderate the discussion, but what do you think if we just quickly summarize how our league stands and then we can talk about?
Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, after two rounds, the experts, with the exception of Mark, are performing very well. Gyula is on top of the league currently. Followed, I will not talk about your team because it's boring to me. So the second place is occupied by main competition of Gyula. It's Money Brigade. It's a Hungarian team, so Hungary is on the silverware currently. And the third place is a local player, Jaguars 11 from Saudi Arabia, with a very good and interesting team. Played very well the defense. They played a white card already in the second round and changed the goalkeepers with a very good feeling because in the first round Rajkovic got 7 points and now Rodak changed Rajkovic and also got an 8 point. But all defenders like Madu and Al-Shamat contributed to Jaguars 11's team very well. On the fourth place, Cybertech FC from Indonesia. So there is an Indonesian competitors in the top tier currently of the league. And then the fifth place, it would be me, and I would not talk about my team either because that's also bore me. So and just Gyula and myself, performed very well in the round 2 as well. But here we need to highlight a Tunisian contender. The name means Shakshuka, the team name. Got the second most points in the round 2 with 74 points. Solid performance. We directly wrote him up the table around the 13th place. So now it's very close to the top tier. Thanks to the defense led by Asibiani and Madu in this team. So yeah, good luck for everyone. It's only 2 rounds so far. And telling this to Mark as well. So it's only 2 rounds so far. So everyone will have the chance to prove themselves, and the league is still open. So if any new players who are interested in this would like to join, then feel free.
ROSHN. Saudi League. Maybe another interesting point or topic regarding the top 10 and the whole game itself. We talked about it at our first episode regarding the fantasy football, that you may need not just Ronaldo but Mitrovic as well in your team. And as far as we see our league, in the top 10 maybe just 2 teams or one where you cannot see both of them. So it seems that we, or at least you, were right in this regard, because I don't have Ronaldo, so I wasn't, and and it can be reflected on my performance so far. So I don't know whether these two teams should be upgraded by Ronaldo, or they should keep going with their current tactic. It could be interesting if they are continuing with this one. So it's like a different road for them.
I'm curious of your opinion in this respect, because probably you will need to make decisions in your attacking department shortly. Because if I check your team, probably that's the point where you were let down by your decisions so far.
That's one of the part of my teams where I was let down, but because if you just check my defense from the last round, it's -1 point combined, because on were sent off. I got 0 points from Henry and only 1 points from Damiral. So not just the attacking part is the problem.
Don't misunderstand me. I didn't claim that that's your only problem. I think that's a key problem.
Yeah, but to be honest, I don't know yet. I'm just thinking about playing out the white card, and I will decide whether I should upgrade with Ronaldo as well, or just upgrade other parts of my team.
I mean, so far it seems that both players are very much needed, not only based on the standing of the league, but they are heavily contributing to the total points of each team. Currently, as you mentioned, only two players do not have both of them, and which means that they only have Mitrovic in their team without Ronaldo. One of them is on the second place, Mitrovic from Hungary, who run an awesome first round. So all of their defenders contributed, like Demiral 7 points, Madu 7 points, Giroto 7 points, Rebocho 10 points, and also could supplement Ronaldo's absence with very good Quinones and Firmino in their team. But if you do not have both of these players, then you have to select very, very wisely. And I believe you also need some kind of luck, at least in one of your lines. But obviously that's also a decision that can be defended, because these players are very, very expensive, and as you can see, it's not impossible to play without them, as based on the example of Mitrovic. And on the 10th place there is a Shalkone from Iraq, Iraqi player, who also only have Mitrovic, so that's another example that you can live without the two.
Speaking about the white card, let's move to that topic. What do you think? Is it wise to use it? I started with my opinion. It is, because you have to use it or lose it very soon. And I tell you that I already used it in order to shape up my team in light of the experiences of the first two rounds and the new transfers and quality players arriving to the kingdom. So I will completely reshape my team despite sitting on the top spot.
That's my plan as well. So maybe not today, but before the next round, before the third round, I will play out the white card. I'm not sure who I will sign, but maybe that's a different topic in this episode as well, because we have some wide guesses and hidden gems. But to answer the question, yes, I will play it out, because just to talk a little bit about the rules. You have 2 white cards this season, but you have to play out the first one until the 13th round. So you don't have too much time to play that out, and maybe it's a good time to use it because of the transfers what just Jula mentioned, and also based on the experiences of the first rounds.
I cannot really add, I believe, to this topic, apart from agreeing with both of you. Currently are very good arguments to use your white card, telling this to everyone. I know that some players already used it, but you have to use it anyway, probably somewhere until the 13th round. And this is a good spot. You will only find a better time. If, for example, there is an injury wave in your team or something, but that cannot be predicted at the moment. Obviously, you can play the conservative way and just keep the wild card for such an unfortunate situation. But currently, which is a very good argument, again, for using the wild card, is that in the last 2-3 weeks, with the end of the transfer window, a lot of new players appeared in the league, and a lot of them changed teams. So that can basically shake up your strategy.
And it's always difficult to guess sometimes the starting lineup of the teams after the summer transfer window. So maybe it could be a little bit more wise to wait a few rounds, but I wasn't that wise and used it anyway because I felt that a few decisions went wrong. I mean, players not playing. But let's move to our next topic in this respect. Probably each of us has at least one player with whom you were disappointed with. Mark probably has a list of names instead, not only just one. So who was it? Again, let me start it because I don't want to get the word back from you later. For me, it was Otavio. I wanted a Nasser-heavy attacking department, despite your friendly warnings, András. So I fell into the trap of having 3 Nasser players, and I pretty much was unhappy with Otavio's performance so far, who may also be injured. We don't know exactly the damage he suffered, but for his price of 9.0, it's a lot, and I will reshape my attacking part. What about you?
For me, the biggest disappointment is not one player, but all the Ahli players so far in my team. But if I have to choose one, it's also from the attacking part of the team. It's Feras, who last year was one of the best players of Al Ahly. We talked about him a lot, and also had his place in the national team. And now we saw that he wasn't in the starting lineup, and also wasn't in the starting 11 of the national team. And now in the last days, Ivan Toney arrived to Al Ahly, so it will be even harder to earn his place in the starting 11 with the likes of Firmino and Ivan Toney ahead of him. So for me, the biggest disappointment so far is Feras, and by this white card, I think I will get rid of him in the coming days.
That sounds like a grounded opinion, Mark. For me, I also have to reach out to the Ahly segment of my team, namely Gabri Veiga. I signed him into my team basically purely because of budget considerations, because I know that he can play regularly for Al Ahly, which is a PIF team, and compared to other PIF regular midfielders, he's very, very cheap. And as far as we know, he's also capable to reach goal contributions. But this was not yet proved. So I will need to consider Gabri Vega's position now in my team. Obviously, I know that when I put him out of my team, he will start scoring goals, etc. But this is something that I will need to do and look for an alternative.
And that's a calculated risk we all take. Let's talk about positives now before we close this episode. Let's talk about the players who you would recommend and consider in your team. I will tell you again my strategy. I believe that Al Fayha is having a very good set of fixtures in the coming rounds. So I reshaped my defense with Al Fayha players, mostly because of budget considerations as well. But if you check their fixtures, I think it's not a bad bet to go for Fayha players.
Yeah, maybe it's a good tip for our listeners or our players of the league to that it is worth to check the next rounds, the next fixtures of the given teams. That's why Dula said that Fayha players may have good results in the coming rounds. Also, I think beyond Fayha, maybe Fatah players can be good choices, just like Sapanosh, who just arrived to the league and already started with a 10 points game, if I recall it well. And maybe other defenders from Fatah could be good choices, just like Denayer. And beyond Feyha and Fateh, I just checked some smaller teams who may have better fixtures than the PIF teams. So it could worth just to check on the players of Riyadh or Al Oroba, because they may have a greater, I don't know, 4 or 3 rounds in the coming fixtures than for example, PIF teams.
Yeah, and as a third alternative, I could recommend everyone to look into Al Shabab's fixtures. Yeah, it's true that they will play away now against Al Qadsiya and then playing at home ground against Al Tawun. So neither of them are fixed 3 points for Al Shabab, we can say that. After that, it's a very, very good fixture. So it's Riyadh, Damak, then comes Nasser, but then comes Oroba, Vekta, Kolod, and Oktud. So Al Shabab is a very, very promising pool of players now. Grants a very promising pool of players from which you can select. I would say, for example, that using as a goalkeeper, starting goalkeeper, Kim Sung-yu, Al Shabab's goalkeeper, is currently for me kind of a no-brainer. It's only 4.5. It costs only 4.5, and with these fixtures, for me, it seems like the best solution as goalkeeper currently that you could use. But again, there were a couple of player movements, so you can also, if you want to take into account budget considerations, now you can use Al Jubair, who
exactly
joined Shabab, and also Carrasco only cost 9, but there are also options, budget considerations like Cuellar or Bonaventura. So and even some of the defenders basically. So Al Shabab is also a good option to look into if you want to reshape a bit your team and taking into account the next rounds in the RSL.
Especially their offensive department. I myself am considering Hamdallah.
Yeah.
I don't know yet how I will pay the money because I already have Mitrovic and Ronaldo and I don't get rid of them. But yes, they shortly played with Nasser, but we all know that Nasser is able to concede goals pretty much. And taking a bet, we all know that taking a bet against them is not the end of the world. So yeah, also Al Jubair is on my list of potential players getting into my team, but I still don't know how it will shape up because the game is updated a little bit slower than, for example, Fantasy Premier League. So I'm still waiting for the complete update on the Al Hilal team to check the extent of options we have.
Yeah, and be aware, because currently, just for our players, for me, maybe not for you, but for me, it seems that only the version which can be reached online or in your internet explorer, so basically via laptop or
browser,
PC.
The browser version.
I don't know whether it works in any browser, but yeah, maybe. But only that is properly updated. The one thing that I wanted to say, that I checked the mobile application and it's not yet properly updated. So just be aware about this one, because maybe that does not contain the currently most up-to-date list of players.
Yeah, well, soon they have to do it because a few days and the league finally starts. But thank you guys for having this good discussion and our introduction to our friendly and competitive league. It's a great place and a great fun. We encourage players to enhance their enjoyment of Saudi football with joining the Fantasy ROSHN Saudi League. And well, I thank you guys for joining. And I also thank our listeners for following us. And please keep on following us. Write us your opinion whether you liked this fantasy episode, because we plan on making a few more. And see you soon. Cheers.